All right, this is the Jack of All podcast, pod number 9, Preseason. This one is a little bit different, but I think it will, in the end, prove to be kind of true Jack of All podcast style, switching gears and breaking format, focusing on different things, kind of bouncing around, and what's up? What's up, little conscience devil?
Yeah. You want to have some hedonistic fun?
Yeah, I guess.
Let's go find a cute, hooved wood fairy, a doe, a deer, a female deer, and murder it. Consume its flesh.
Yeah, okay. Can I make burgers? I mean, I've got the teeth for it.
Don't do it, Joe.
Oh, shit, the angel's here too.
Deer are the embodiment of nature's love, here to grace your existence with their beauty. Eat the plants. The spirit of nature doesn't care about those brainless bitches.
No, come. Let's kill. We'll have sex, drugs, rock and roll, and venison.
Don't listen to evil, Joe.
Oh, jeez.
You can be happy living on plants like delicious Doritos grown harmlessly with magic conveniently on the supermarket shelf.
Nonsense. Come with me to the woods. We'll perfect your craft of killing and carefully take a mature deer's life. Then we'll consume and utilize as much of it as possible.
Don't trouble with such mental toils. Save yourself. Go vegetarian.
No venison.
Plants.
You can have both.
You guys,
You can have fish too. They're dumb.
Oh,
Reverence.
Ignorant bliss.
Skills.
No
Oh,
trials
come
and
on.
tribulations required.
Respect for your
Oh,
world.
you guys, are you even listening?
Don't
Just
trouble yourself. Ignorance is bliss.
Enough. That's, jeez. I hate it when I get in those weird, conscience battles, don't you? But anyways, this podcast is it's kind of a different one. I ended up taking a walk around my parents' farm. I brought my bow, I got a microphone, and I went out there to show you guys and tell you all about my upcoming whitetail deer hunting season. I'm hoping I can record and translate as much of it through this podcast to you as I can. I really love hunting, and it's become a really big part of my life. I think this is my 8th or 9th season. I gotta think about that one again, but anyways, though, I really love doing it, and I hunt because not just because I enjoy it, but I think it gives me kind of the best, most positive perspective on how human consumption of life works and how we consume life to give ourselves life. And I don't mean to insult anybody. If you're a vegetarian or whatever your food choices are, that's fine. I really don't care, and I don't know what is best. And I just get irritated when people ignore that there's consequences to both sides. I mean, I don't like going out and killing animals. It's not something that you're, like, ha, I did that. But you have a reverence for it. And a lot of that, I think, is missing in the vegetarian aspect, because even though it is just eating plants, there's still a lot of cost of, big tractors driving through fields, crushing small animals, and the cost of transportation and just everything involved in packaging and shipping food. It all has a detriment to the world around us and to nature. So it just seems like there's a lot better things to argue about than what we're going to choose to eat and who's right about that. Let's just try and make it so that it all works for everybody, right? But I do think that, let me see if I can translate this right. Going out there, you try not to do any harm, and you do your best to make it as respectful of a thing as possible. And I feel like it makes me want to live better. I feel like I've taken the life of this animal, and I want to use the energy that I get from this deer to live a life that even it would be proud of, or even it would respect, I think that's just reverence and respect. If you're going to take a life and consume it, you should maybe recycle it with more positive life. I'm not I'm not sure I can respect a bowl of cereal in quite the same way that I respect a deer that I've trained for. You know, I've trained in the skill of archery. I've trained in the skills with firearms, and then you go and you take its life and you put in the work and you put in the prep of your hunting area and just acquiring a place to even be, and then you process it and you feed your family with it and you're thankful, and it's, I think, a little more connected than just going and buying a box of cereal. But you know, to each his own. I'm not saying of course I eat vegetables and everything. I love it all, but yeah, let's see. That's kind of why I do it, I guess. This is my preseason podcast, so I wanted to talk about, I'm kind of just going to get into what the podcast is here in the intro, and then I've got, the whole walking around the farm thing. That'll be the bulk of the podcast. But I did want to talk about, because I think I just floated around on the farm and got into different subjects and never really hashed things out too well. And I'm not going to explain in too great of detail things like my gear and all that here. If people want to get more into that, maybe I can do that more in the future, but that'll all kind of depend on feedback. So hopefully I can hear what you guys like. And it's the Jack of All podcast, so don't get too comfortable. We're going to keep switching it up and doing different things, but I still want to connect with anybody who, look, if you connect with me on archery, great, let's talk archery. I'll do, some extra podcasting just to talk archery with you guys. But let's see, there's a lot of work that goes into it, though. Getting your bow ready. I got a Hoyt Factor, and I was really lucky to have, people who are helping me too. My buddy sold me his old Hoyt Factor, great bow, and, helped me kind of get started, helped me start picking out the parts I'd need for it. Got, a real nice sight for it, and he helped me build arrows for it, and good God, these things get complicated. Just picking out how to build arrows. I sat there one night and I just looked on this internet trying to build up a shopping cart full of what I would need to build one set of arrows. And just the decision took me all night. And I ended up, I think, just going to bed and figuring it out the next day after spending 4 hours or so looking at these things. But you have to decide what broadhead you're going to use. How's your arrow going to balance based on the weight of the shaft and where everything, gets put on it. You put, heavier stickers and fletching on the back, bushings in the nocks. You can get different nocks that weigh different amounts, different points or broadheads that weigh different amounts, different kinds of it's mind-numbing how much you have to go through and choose. So it really helps to have people. And I can't say enough for things like Knock on TV and John Dudley. He says he puts so much information out there and it's so helpful. And people like my buddy Rick, who just, somebody who you can talk to and get some, just face-to-face advice and maybe go shoot with. It helps so much because they can look at you and say, hey, you need to correct your stance like this or do this or that. And just little tips like I don't know if you guys seen my picture that I put up. I was shooting out in the park in my neighborhood, 40 yards with my bow, and there was a real nice 10-mile-an-hour crosswind that day, and it was just perfectly straight from my left. So things that I learned from Rick and John Dudley at Knock On was tilting the top limb of your bow into the wind, and there's a little bubble level in your sight that you can use to kind of gauge how far you're tilted. It's also to keep you straight up if you're not in the wind, but you can do that, and that made a difference in this shooting the other day. And I did that because they told me to, and that I would have never known otherwise. And another tip that I thought was so great, and this was John Dudley and Knock On. It was basically just keep driving the pin back to where it needs to go. If you're getting blown around by the wind or getting tired, and that was a big factor in that volley that I put up the picture of, because I was getting real sloppy. I'd been shooting for 3 days straight, practicing real hard, getting ready for season, and I had 2 volleys before that were just real sloppy. I think my groups opened up to 4 or 5 inches or so at 40 yards, just sloppy crap. And I'm pulling back on my back tension release, and it feels like it's getting harder and harder to break, which is just, me collapsing my shoulders, not doing things right. Anyways, I focused on all of the things I need to do, and I'm holding proper position. I'm driving the pin towards the target because as I'm floating and getting sloppy, I keep just heading back towards where it needs to be. And as it breaks, if I had to call the shot where the pin was when I thought it broke, I didn't hit the target right where I thought I would, but I was just driving back to it all the time. Stacked 3 right on top of each other. Beautiful. I watched them kind of fly a little bit off to the left and then come back in with the wind over that 40 yards. It's just beautiful. You know, it's great when you get the help and get the knowledge and can get out there and do this thing. And you know, maybe I can help spread that a little bit too. And yeah, it's great. I love this thing. It's really fun. I'm having so much fun with archery. It truly is more fun than firearms. And I don't know, I feel like I'm better with it. For some reason, I get a badass rifle and it shoots better than I've ever could. And I still will pull out a pistol and put more bullets right in the center than with the rifle. It makes no sense. Same with the bow. I'll put more arrows right where I want them to be. And I don't get that. But maybe it's just I think it's maybe the mental game, you know, you got so much more to focus on with the archery. So yeah, it's fun. I'm having a great time. It's pretty cool stuff. Things have changed since I started. I was a little kid and my dad luckily was, you know, this is another thing my dad did for me. He bought me bows and arrows and took me to archery shoots. I remember going to these 3D, no, it wasn't 3D dinosaur shoots. It was like a projection screen. And they'd put dinosaurs up there, and we're kids. We're shooting our little bows with flat points on them, and it hit the screen, and it somehow sensed where it hit and marked it. And you'd be shooting at dinosaurs, though, right? So, yeah, that's where you get things like, "Hey Joe, what do you know? Just got back from a dinosaur show." Anyways, it's great though. Things have changed so much since those days. So nowadays, I got things like this cool release. It's called a Silverback, and it's made by John Dudley Knock On. I think Carter's the one who makes it, but it's such an amazing release. It hooks onto my loop that's right behind my arrow, or right kind of goes around my arrow at the back, and you pull it back. You got to hold the little safety on while you do that. You're holding it with 2 fingers. That's what you're pulling. I'm pulling 65 pounds back with the 2 fingers, you know? And once you got it back, you let off the safety once you're in position, and then you put a little more tension. And once you get up to, I think I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's somewhere like 15 pounds of pull, because your let off's a little bit less than that. You gauge it to your bow, blah, blah, blah. It snaps, the arrow goes flying, and it kind of surprises you a little bit more. It's a little bit less of like a trigger. So maybe that's what makes it, I don't know, a little bit, maybe that's what makes you better, is being able to focus like that. You know, shooting rifles and stuff, you find yourself having to come up with tricks. I always liked to count. I'd be waiting for my trigger to break the shot as I'm applying more pressure. And, you know, I'd start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, singing a song in your head or something to distract you so that it surprises you when the shot goes off. But let's see. Anything else I want to say about my gear? Man, thank you, Rick. I appreciate the help so much in getting my arrows set up. I cannot tell you guys how much it helps to have somebody go through these things with you. And, you know, again, hey, if people like this, hit me up, shoot me emails. I'll spend a whole time talking about how we actually went about getting them. And I'm going to try to get a fletching jig and stuff in the future. And I like doing all this stuff DIY as well. So I'm learning to do it. And I've had a lot of help at the start, which is great. But I can't also stress how much you have to really work. You really do have to get out there, put the time in and put the practice in. And it's not just going out and practicing shooting your bow or shooting your rifle, whatever it might be. And it's things like I've spent so much time this year going out to my parents' farm and clearing out, you know, crummy little trees, clearing up shooting lanes, moving stands around. My dad put some good effort into, he got a big tractor this year, and we put out a little bit of a food plot, and we're starting to build things up like that. We built this big platform stand in the middle of the back field so that we can easily go out there in the wintertime and have a really nice, you know, little hut to sit in and shoot with rifles out of. And yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into this. There's a lot of prep work and a lot of thinking about it, and you really got to put the time in. And then you go out there and you sit in a tree stand and you just wait and wait and wait. But I cannot stress how much it's worth it and how it's one of my absolute favorite things to do. It's like a requirement for me. It's a mental break time. I get to go sit out there and just, you would think that the hours would drag on. I'll sit at work with things that need done, I'm supposed to be doing, and it's just like the clock just, and out in the tree stands, it goes by so fast, and you come back in and you go, oh, I've got this awesome story about, I watched this this squirrel that was out in the field, and then this hawk swooped down at it, and it almost got it, but the squirrel ran off, and the hawk sat in the tree, and then the squirrel kind of inched back out, and the hawk tried to jump at it again, but then it ended up back in the tree, and I watched them have like a stare down for 20 minutes, and that was the big highlight of the whole day. And somehow that sounds so silly, that even sounds silly to explain it, but just sitting out there and watching that and listening and watching the birds and the occasional amazing things you do see, it's so brief, but it's so worth it. I've spent entire seasons just waiting and waiting and waiting to get a deer on the last day, or to not get a deer at all, or even more heartbreaking to I've had seasons where I killed a deer and lost it, tracked it, and you learn, you find out, I didn't know that I needed to let it sit. I needed to not spook it back up, and we started tracking it, and it was plenty of blood, but it took off running across the field. Everything dried up, and we never found another. Anyways, it's so much goes into learning and becoming a successful hunter. So I encourage you to get out there and work at it. Get onto it, Hold on one second here. I gotta move these tracks. That's gonna become a mess. We'll just mute them here. That'll work. We will just edit this part out. Yeah. Oh, maybe I will leave it in because I'm fucking singing. Well, I can't mute these. Mute that. Oh, I can't. Of course, I can't mute that. Why the fuck couldn't I mute that? That makes no sense. Is this gonna make noise on me in a second? Yeah, it is. Just turn the volume down then. All right. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, you know what? I need to say, I think that's all I really need to say for hunting season. I'm super pumped. It's preseason now. Actually, you know what? Today is October 1st. It is season. I need to get the fuck out of here and go hunting. I cannot believe I'm sitting here at my house not hunting right now, and it is hunting season. I gotta go. But first things first, thank you, Craig Ayers, for the music today. It is off his album Full Time. He is on Bandcamp. Just look him up. Craig, C-R-A-I-G, Ayers, H-E-R-R-E-S. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, Craig, please call me and yell at me because I should know. Let's see. Yeah, I like this song. It's called Onto Something, because I picked this one because I feel like it's a great vibe for this preseason pumped up feeling I've got. I am onto something. I am ready to go out there and get it. I'm pumped up and excited, man. This one's going to be good. So yeah, enjoy the song. I hope you guys like it. I got it in its entirety at the end of the entire podcast. So check that out. Check him out online. I'll try to throw some links in the show notes. And thank you, Craig. I really appreciate it. And I hope to hear more things you're doing. I think he's in Drunken Guns maybe. And I think he's playing in that one right now. But I know I need to get in touch with him, man. Hang out with him. It's been a long time. I think I met him. I was probably 15, 16 years old. We'd hang out. This was like right before I got a car. He took me around, took me to cool shows and stuff, showed me a good time. And then I think I got a car, got out of high school, and kind of started traveling and doing all kinds of other things and lost touch with these people. So I'm excited to get back in touch with them, and I'm really appreciating this music. I came across it just looking into what my old musician friends were doing, and he's got this like country rock vibe that I am super digging right now, and it makes me feel at home. I've been out working on the farm a lot, and it makes me feel like being there. So again, thank you, Craig. I hope you all enjoy that. You can find anything I am doing at jackofallpodcast.com. I'm on YouTube. Just look up Jack of All Podcast or Jetwave, or I look up Joe Troy. That's what the name is now, and it's way down the list. Whatever. Subscribe to it. Please subscribe to it. I want to get more people on this. This is pathetic, but here's a marker. We're at number 9, and I have am I at 12 subscribers? I want to get to 100 so I can start live streaming some of this stuff. It'd be way cool to get to just live stream it and have it be a real here it is format. Take you guys skateboarding and stuff with me, go out hunting. Maybe we can get one live with you there. That'd be sweet, right? Let's see. Anything else? I think that is it. Check it out. I hope you guys enjoy the walk around the farm. Big thank you to my dad for making all of that possible. I am so lucky. I am going to do some public ground stalking this year. That will be different. I've never done it. I I unfortunately found out, what was I listening to? Oh, geez. Am I going to have to look this up while I'm on here? Gritty Bowman? Yeah, Gritty Bowman podcast. Anyways, hey, here's a message from Craig Harris. It's pronounced like Harris. Craig Harris. Oh, well, Craig Harris. Herres. Harris. Anyways, there you go. Look him up. The music's awesome. But, yeah, the Gritty Bowman podcast, and these guys at Montana Wild were talking about all this trouble they got in for filming without permits, and I'm like on the verge of going out there and filming a podcast to present to you guys on these public grounds. So I look into it, and sure enough, I have to have a permit to do any of that stuff. It's not a big deal. It's $100, but you have to apply for it 90 days ahead of time. That's season's over 90 days from now. So that's that. We'll get that next year. But hopefully that'll be fun. I hope it works out, and I will probably record on the way to and from those hunting trips, and I will share that with you. That is it. Enjoy the walk around, and thank you all. All right, this is the Jack of All podcast. This one's a little bit different. This is going to be my pre-hunting season podcast. I'm out here on my parents' farm. This is going to be my prime property for hunting this year. I'm going to be shooting archery. And this is my first year shooting archery, so I'm really excited. I've hunted, I think this will be my 8th season out here. And hopefully you can watch the video. I'm going to be walking around the farm and showing. I'm going to climb up in all the tree stands and stuff. But I need to do some checking of yardages and whatnot from the stands and just make sure I know where things are before we get going this year. So yeah, I am so lucky to have this place. This is a beautiful farm. I'm walking down into, we got this little low field that's behind the pond, which is behind the house. And this is, deer don't bed down over here as much. There's kind of a low field down at the bottom of the hill, and then it goes back to this brushier area that's been growing up for maybe 15 years. Starting to be some good trees in there and stuff. A lot of honeysuckle and brushy stuff and real thick. And they'll bed in there, but they like to bed right along, there's a river in the middle of it, and it's maybe 30 yards wide, the brush. Well, the brush is probably, including the river, 75 yards wide, the field maybe another 75. But we've taken a lot of deer out of here, actually. It's kind of a throughway for the properties. There's houses and stuff that kind of funnel them into this area. But yeah, I love being out here, though. I've been doing a lot of work. We've done a lot of work clearing these trails. We got like a horseshoe path through all this thick stuff. Opens up in here. I've cleared a whole, I don't know, this is maybe 20 some yards. We'll count it out. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's where a lot of the deer get whacked. They walk around this little horseshoe area and stop right here and check it out, and that's it. And it's easy shot. Let's see. Take some steps. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14. So not even 20 yards to that edge there. We'll count how far it is, maybe down the trails. We'll see how far we can see up in the stand. But that's the first pin on the bow. So I've got a awesome Hoyt Factor that I'm really lucky. I had a friend who was selling it, and it's a really great bow. I got a great deal on it from him, and he's helped me get it all set up and get back into archery. I haven't shot in years and years and years. All right, let's climb this tree stand and then we'll talk again. Hold on. I got my hippie sling bag here. I can toss my mic in. Try and get some good audio quality. We'll see. All right. I probably should have safety harnesses and all, but I like these stands. They're pretty solid with these bars. All right. Again, I hope you can watch the video, and I hope this comes out as good as it is. This is a beautiful stand. I love being up here. I've seen all kinds of stuff wander down this river right behind me. I think I seen a bobcat last year, twice. That was really neat. But yeah, we've got a whole nice shooting area here. If we were shooting rifle, you can go all the way out into the field. And last year I had one come down and off to my left here from up in the stand, this real thick brush. I cleared it out a good bit more because last year I had Heck, I've taken a deer over here through the brush with the rifle. It was real close. But I had one bed down about, I don't know, 15, 20 yards away last year and just lay there while I was up in my stand and just chilled until I left at the end of the day. I don't think it was too big of a deer, but like I was saying, we get kind of smaller deer will populate this, or, you know, will come and hang out in this area, and the bigger ones kind of stay away. It's more of just a throughway. We've got a house there, roads, another field behind me, but houses on the other side of it, so this is the pathway. All right, looks good up here. Everything's tied down tight. We got it all tightened up. Good to go. All right, I'm gonna climb back out of this one. We'll count off a few more yards and continue on the walk through the woods. Now, hopefully we can be quiet with these stands climbing in and out come hunting season. They're definitely not the quietest stands, but they sure are comfy and nice for sitting in all day. All right, I love this Hoyt. We got some bugs on it. Cool. All right, let's see. And we'll back up here and count a little bit. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20. I don't think I'm really going to get any shots past 20 yards here this year. Nah, that looks like about the clear, as far as I have a clear lane. You know what, that's super easy. It's going to make hunting super easy this year, so that is the top pin. Anything 20 yards and in is the top pin on my side. I just put that one dead on where I want to be in rock and roll mode. We'll finish this loop around here. So, September 25th, it's getting a little late to be out here, and I've been getting the work done over the past few weeks. I wanted to get this walk around podcast done and shoot out of the tree stands a little bit before we got too close to hunting season, and it starts October 1st next week, but I am going to stay out of here. I'm not going to come out into this property until probably getting into the middle or end of October, and I will stay out of my favorite stand until we really notice rut start to kick up in the area. See if we can't get something good out there and save it for the later season. That said, I have to hunt. I can't help it. I got to get out there. I'm so pumped. I put so much effort and money into getting ready for this year. So I'm going to go out and hunt the reservoirs in the area, and I will hopefully have some luck. I haven't really scouted anything out yet. I'm going to go out there and start kind of early in the day, hike the area, see if I find a good spot that I can just kind of post up at a tree, maybe towards the top of a hill, and hopefully get lucky. Some early season action out in the woods, but that just being out in the woods is what it really ends up being all about. I love that. I end up spending so much time out here, and you know, like I said, I seen a bobcat out here. I'm pretty sure I did. What's this? It's just plants. So it looked like this big cat walking down the river, and it was dark. It was early in the morning. I just got in the stand. It looks like a big ass cat walking down the river, and I'm kind of like, what the heck is that? Because I've seen deer walk through it in the dark. I've seen dogs, everything, you know. And this didn't look normal, and it was super quiet, and I didn't know what it was. And then a few weeks later, walking out into the back 40-acre field, I seen this like crazy looking cat thing go sprinting off into the woods. I didn't know what the heck it was. I figured it must have been a bobcat after I looked at some pictures. One sec. Tie this shoe here. Point I'm getting at, though, is that was some of the biggest excitement of my last year's season. And that's, you know, 2 brief moments of all the hours and hours and hours and hours to spend, you know, 4 or 5 hours out here a day. You spend all the time getting ready. You spend all the time driving out. And those few minutes are worth it, man. So I've been working on this trail that I'm walking down for I don't know, 2 years now maybe. Kind of clearing it out. We need to make it a little bit wider. Made some real good progress this year. Kind of a nice little express path through, again, what used to be fields, and I think this is more on the 20, 30 years ago age, but used to be fields, so we got lots of small trees and stuff, and I'm getting in here clearing stuff out and opening paths up and kind of getting rid of some of the smaller brushy junk. Hopefully make it easier for things to live in here and a little bit more mature of a forest, woods, whatever. The farm's 63 acres now or so. All right. Yeah, I'm real happy with this bow setup. Thank you, Rick, for all the help, man. I got a Hoyt Factor 2014. Really nice bow. It's really short, really small. Has really high speeds. Launches these arrows that he made me. 457 grain. Easton hexes with some knock-on fletching on them. They fly beautifully. Yeah. Let's see, what kind of sight have I got? I've got a Spot Hog Hunter, I think it is. I love this thing too. This whole setup has worked out great. All right, so I'm getting to the end of this path here, and oh, look at this butterfly. Nice. So I got to the end of this path here through this little section of woods. We call this the finger woods because it's of actual solid woods. There's like a finger that juts out in this little hill face here. Then it opens up into the back 40-some acre field. But walk out, it kind of opens up, and right as you get into the clearing here, bam, there's one of the tree stands, another one. So I've got a great spot here, and we got this opening that opens up here off to the side of the field. It's just kind of brushy stuff, so we planted some food plot stuff. We didn't put much effort into it. I got some, seed from last year on sale. My dad came out here, he got a big old tractor this year, and he finally got a grapple on the front of it and used it like a tiller. Kind of tore it up. I don't know if it did good or not. I think we maybe got some clovery stuff maybe. Threw a couple different bags of stuff out here, but I figured screw it. I think I'll just start getting seeds and stuff and start throwing it out here several times a year. I don't really have the time to be out here working it all the time or anything, and we'll just hopefully keep throwing stuff out, and hopefully it'll get kind of taken over eventually, and we'll have a real nice food plot here. Help maintain the deer population. I think that's, the more and more I hunt, the more I think we really need to do those kind of things and really watch your herd and really watch how much you thin out, which is another reason I'm not going to come out here and hunt too early this year. I'm going to wait a little bit because I think the capacity out here is maybe you take 4 deer off this property, a couple does and a couple bucks, and I mean, you're not going to get 2 big bucks out of that, and you might not get big bucks every year doing that. It's a lot out of here, so a lot of people around here hunt. All right, I'm going to run up this tree stand. We'll look around. I need to pace this stand out a little bit and check my yardages. This will be my further shots will be possible at this one. Here we go. Fix this stuff up. All right. Hopefully this translates real well in video too. The view is beautiful up here. I love this stand because I can see basically all the way across to the opposite corner of this about 40-acre field. It's kind of interesting. I've got a hill off to the left of my stand, so if the deer are up on the top of that hill, I think the top is maybe 75, 100 yards away. They're like right at eye level with me. So we kind of leave that brushy that way. Hopefully by the time they see me, they've come into this opening and it's too late. We've got these big openings off to the right side, right by that path that I was talking about. Yeah, that's some pretty decent shot distance out to there. I don't know if you can see straight across here. Oh, maybe 100 yards, 75 yards. There's another tree stand that belongs to the neighbors. There's a couple of them over there, and we've had, I don't know if we've had issues with it or not. They like to shoot towards the property, and you start bickering over that kind of crap. And I don't know. I think back to like the maintenance thing. I think the best thing to do is to just try and make it so that there's enough deer for everybody, and that I don't care if they end up shooting onto my property a little bit or onto my parents' property a little bit. You just kind of live with it, and everybody gets out here and gets their chance and gets their deer, has a good time. All right, let's walk a little bit of this. This is beautiful. It's kind of kind of cool being out here early season. I'm usually not out here till firearm season. Everything's a lot less green, a lot less thick. All right, heading down. I guess this isn't the best for the podcast audio, walking down or climbing up and down tree stands. Could sing songs maybe. Is there no any hunting songs? It's a good hunting song. I never get any emails, man. If anybody knows a good hunting song, email it to me. That's the maybe dumbest thing I've ever said. No, that's not true. That's no way the dumbest thing I've ever said. All right, here we go. Grab my bow. Oh, let's count off. How many paces we got here? I'm gonna have to estimate a little bit of this because it's thick in the middle. Yeah, we'll see how far we go out to the bean field edge. So much of this is gonna be close. I'm gonna keep the shots close because that's what's gonna be fair and safe. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. So barely even 10 yards to the field edge straight out. I don't think I'm going to walk into it. I'm not really going to be able to set too good of markers. I'm going to go in a little bit. Here we go. 1. And 5. About 5 yards in. Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be tough to set markers. I don't want to shoot too far out into this field. So that'll be 20 yards, a little bit in there. 30 yards about by that open patch. All right, let's move on back out of here. I think I was really happy with my yardage estimates the other day. I got together with my buddy Rick, and we were testing out the arrows he made me and stuff, and kind of resetting my pins for him, which, holy crap, did that make a big difference. I added probably almost 200 grains to my arrows, and geez, did it change the flight path. But we were checking, range and yardage, and I was really happy with all my guesses. I was like within a yard or two each time. So I think the best way to do it, though, my dad, kind of taught me this, and it's super simple. You just take steps, count them off, 1, 2, 3, see, get a yardstick out, throw it on the ground, see how big of a step you got to take for it to be about 3 feet. And that's pretty damn close. And eventually I think you start to kind of grasp it real well as to how far you're actually going. All right, let's see. I'm going to say we're about 5 yards here. Walk on out to the other side of this edge and see what our furthest shot is off to the side here. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, so this is about 20 yards. Man, so really, I'm going to walk this like a circle a little bit here. Oh, about halfway across this clearing is 20 yards. That's pretty awesome. Anything inside of that's tight. That's good. That's real good because that opens me up to 30-yard shots, and it gives me a good area, a little more actual space. These other areas look good, but they are small. All right, let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom, look at that. Fucking perfect 30-yard little field here. That's awesome. I had a lot of trouble re-zeroing my bow yesterday after getting new arrows and everything and getting it kind of finished. And I tested it out today and got everything kind of real good, zeroed all the way out through 40. I checked my 50-yard pin and it hit fine, but I'm not going to call my 50 and 60 zeroed. But yeah, that'll be perfect. I don't want to go anything over 30 anyways, and so far my longest shot is 30 unless I go out into this field. And yeah, I think I'll call about that open area there, about 30 yards, and that'll be the max out to there. I think all this pre-work is super important. If you guys are going to do archery, I really hope you get out and kind of do some of this stuff. I'm going to shoot the bow in a second out of one of the stands, and I think it's really going to be, well, I've already done it once or twice today, but I think it's really good for knowing that what I'm trying to do is going to happen. Ooh, what's this? This is a good deer trail through here. Yeah, it looks all right. Maybe, maybe not, but hold on here. All right. Oh, what was I talking about? It's too easy to get distracted out here. Beautiful. Here, I don't know if, again, on the camera, you can see we've built a platform with a nice little hut on top of it for hunting out of this year. My dad's going to shoot. He got a new 308 for it. And if I were a deer right here, I'd be dead. I think it's about, we're going to have to figure it out yet. But this field all the way across, I think last time I counted off, it was somewhere between maybe 650, 700 yards. That's about 250, 300 yards. Should be a pretty easy shot once he gets his zero real good with that thing. Get practicing, Dad. It's coming up quick. All right. Yeah, so we got all neighbor properties off to the side, and everybody out here kind of hunts, so you fight for the deer. Yeah, it's nice having this, though. This is a super awesome thing. I'm super lucky to have this. I get to come out here and I get to do all my maintenance on my stands, and you know, my dad kind of has made it all happen. I don't have anything near the money to have property like this. I've got a little house up in the city, so it's nice to be able to get back out into the woods and be in the country and be able to work out here and have it be kind of my spot. Have the freedom to bring a chainsaw out and chop things up. And get out here early season and spend the time and figure out what things are. I've got a great path here. Follow this thing in, though. I'm not going to do it because I'm wearing shorts today. I've not cleared this path anymore, but it just turns into a mess in there. I find myself wondering, you know, if it's even deer paths or what these are. You get out here in the early season and a lot of stuff that if you don't come out till the late season, you think we're deer paths, and you look at it and it's just, no way. It's smaller stuff that opens up as the weeds and stuff come down and it looks like a deer path, but I don't think they're using it. It's another good looking path. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm so lucky. I'm super lucky that my dad worked so hard to have this, you know? He really busted his ass his whole life. It's such a trade. You know, he really, God, he worked 70, 80-hour weeks his whole life, and that's not even a joke. I don't, you know, I'm going to misquote a bit of this, but my parents would tell me, or my mom told me, that there was one summer that he never took a weekend off. I think he had one day off the whole year, and it was at least, you know, 70, 80 hours every single week, if not more. And I remember that, you know. We got nice property and nice things, but damn, he sure did work his life away and sacrifice a lot for it. I mean, it was good too, though. I still have a great dad. He still spent a lot of time with me, and not at all complaining about that. He fucking raced dirt bikes with me, take me to the races on Sunday, and let me do motocross, and take me up to Michigan and Kentucky to ride the trails. What a frickin' life I've had, you know? I'm walking this field edge, and inside this field edge that I'm on, there's like, it varies, but you know, between 50, 75, and down to even like maybe 10 yards of woods before you run into the creek again. So the property's kind of bordered in by a creek on two sides. Is it the Josinia? Medicinia? I'd have to ask my mom. She's good on all the Indian names and stuff that's going on out here. So this was a big kind of Indian area. They have the whole Mississinawa 1812 reenactments and stuff out here, and it's all this old battleground area, and I don't know, just some good history out here. It's really fun. But there we go. There's a good path. I'm excited about this path because this one leads in, and it kind of leads right up to my best tree stand out here. And then right up here, right along this field edge again, and they're 10, 15 yards up. It doesn't look like anything yet, but the deer like to rub all along this area. They get their antlers up in here and rub on them. All excited during rut. All right. Beans are starting to turn. There you go. There's that hut again in this little patch of woods here. All right. I've got this nice big opening here. The deer will walk along this field line if they don't go through the woods. And then I've got a nice, take shots over here, shots over there. Heck yeah. It's a lot of work, man. I was cracking up, man. I was, you know, trying to push my mom to like watch more stuff on the internet and get more different information sources, you know, just kind of get out there. So, I mean, you know, and that's just going to be just fun stuff even. So I'm showing her, have you guys seen the Shia LaBeouf? Do it! Just do it! Cracking up about this, but I think it's freaking hilarious, man. That was freaking funny. But you really do. You got to get out there and just do this stuff. Get out there and chop down these trees and clear up the paths and make it nice. Yeah, see here? Walk up to this river. It's all dried up right now. There's a little stagnant pool there. Yeah, nice big, what is this? Maybe 20 yards across creek river thing. Drops down from where I'm standing right now. 10, 15 feet deep. Pretty awesome. Got a big old log jam over there. Do love these Indiana woods. Right. Kind of had to clear all this stuff up because it was all blocking trails and stuff through here. So chopped it up. And hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully the deer will start running it. I'm going to stay out of here, like I said, for about a month. We'll see how the trees and stuff change. I'm excited. It's been real pretty and real thick. We've got poison ivy and stuff out here and all kinds of good stuff we got into getting it cleared up. All right, I'm going to run up this tree. We'll take the bow and I've got some targets set up. We will see if we can't shoot them and see if we're ready for deer season or not. All right, here we go. Up the stand. Hey, Superman this bow on up here. What is that on my leg? Leaves. All right, this tree a little tight on in here, but good cover, I think. All right, Superman that bow. All right, get up here. Superman that bow. Alright. I think I will just leave the mic put up for now. So hopefully the audio picks up good enough. Beautiful. Yeah, off to my left here. Got my shots into the field. And it's all like 20 yards or less in here. I don't have a shot that's over it, so just put the top pin on and rock and roll. If I maybe get a shot like, man, there's a little window. If a deer was on the other side over there. Maybe if they were way out in all the way in the water or something over there, it might make sense to go up to maybe a little closer to the 30-yard pin, but I think this is it. All right. Launch a few arrows and see how we do. I'm not happy with this quiver. I got this Alpine soft lock quiver and it just kind of pops off. You can see if you put any pressure on it. As you're putting the arrows in, you put pressure on it to get them to pop in and the whole thing falls off your bow. Had good ratings and everything online, but oh well. Maybe next season, get one that's better. Throw that one on a bow for the kids, or if the wife ever gets out here. It'd be nice. We've talked about putting up another tree stand and she'd just sit out here, I think. Alright, let's see if we can whack this turkey. Plunk. That looks good. Nice fast straight arrows. Pulling about 65 pounds. That's a badass Hoyt Factor with my knock-on fletching. Got my, oh man, I'm using a crazy release too. Not the kind of stuff I grew up shooting. Let's see, I've got this knock-on silverback. Look at this crazy thing. Got a safety, so you put the loop in there, it pulls, you pull the whole string back with, and you hold the safety on. If you don't, you pop one off. I did that the other day. I felt like such a jackass. I was pulling it back and must have let off the safety and launched one off into the oblivion, into a cornfield. That's why you gotta, we'll see here, you gotta hold the bow out in front of you, about where, you know, pointed at what you're gonna shoot and then draw it. Which I'm tired today. I've been shooting for 3-4 days in a row now. Let's do this. Ah. Let's see, nice and steady. Boom, there's a good posture. Stacking arrows. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright. God, I love this hunting stuff. I'd love to do it so much more than just, you know, here and there. Whitetail season here in Indiana. It's So jealous of those guys who are out hunting elk and all that stuff, but hey, you know, time, money, again, do it! Back to, I don't know, I like the way the Grateful Dead said it, or said, I can tell your future, look what's in your hands. Alright. That'll fly. That's about perfect. Yeah, I like that. You wanna, you know, I think I've always kind of heard or been taught, go just behind the shoulder. And the more I listen to things like Knock On, John Dudley's podcast, the more I learn that you want to kind of follow right up the leg. You want to watch their leg positioning, the deer's leg positioning, so that their leg that's closest to you isn't blocking your shot, but try and get it right up, just barely at the, you know, if behind the leg at all, it's just barely, behind the shoulder at all, it's just barely behind it. I've got kind of an opening in there that, oh, what's this? I just got walnuts falling. Never know, man, get a deer run through here or something crazy. Deer act funny when it's out of season. Well, they act funny when it's in season. I've been out here in this back 40-acre field and had a deer just follow me around. It was like 6 in the morning. Me and my buddy were out here walking, and deer followed us around the field for about 20 minutes. All right, here we go. Let's get another shot out. Bunk. Pretty darn close. Maybe a hair too forward on that one. It's a little hard to tell. The target's turning. All right. Let's see. Send another one. Is there anything else I want to talk about? I don't know, man. I always have things I want to talk about and things I want to say, and then I find myself just going, I don't know if I want to even get into that. I don't want to talk political stuff. I don't want to, you know, get into any too conflicting or, I guess, politically or emotionally charged. I just want to be out in the woods, man. It's beautiful. I love this. Alright, here we go. Nice. Oh, I knocked his ear off. Killed him good. Alright, that's all my arrows. I got 5, I had 6, I'm out of money. I lost one in the field, so I'm down to 5, so I gotta be careful with them. I think that might be it for the day. It's been a long day. Gosh, it's so beautiful up in this stand. I hope you guys can check out this video. I got rivers, I've got the woods, I've got field. Oh, so awesome. Alright, cool. Great stuff. Thank you, Dad. Thank you for busting your ass and giving me this great place to hunt. I can't wait to get it in the public grounds too, see what those are like. You know what? My shoe is untied. I'm not about to climb down this tree stand with my shoe untied. I really need to maybe get some safety harnesses and stuff, but if you guys are out hunting, man, be safe. Go out, get some practice in, make sure you're ready. Figure out your yardage. Make sure your equipment works. It's a lot of effort to do these things. Man, do I love it. Try and butcher my own deer this year. It's another thing, man. Don't be scared, guys. Get out there if you're, you know, kind of broke. My first year, I didn't have the money to pay for a deer to be butchered, so I just did it myself. Turned out fine. Quartered the thing down here and brought it back up to my house. Alright, cool. Let's walk down here and get these arrows back. You guys can leave the bow. Ain't no point in bringing it around. Alright. Alright, well, I think that's it, man. I think I'm ready for hunting season. I got most of my stuff set up. I got a good deal, you know. You be ready ahead of time and you shop and you get kind of like I got some Under Armour camo for early season. since it's going to be warmer than I'm used to. But I got a great deal on it. I remember last year seeing all this stuff being on sale, and then by the time all the firearms season guys are thinking about it, it's gone. Silly frogs. Frogs down in this water pool. Oh, there's a cool kind of shale rock. I'm always looking for and that wouldn't be an Indian tool being shale like that, I don't think, but always looking for some good rocks or Indian artifacts out here, but never find anything. I'll take that. I don't know where's the kill zone on this thing. I don't really care. That's pretty much right where I was aiming. Nice and consistent, out of the stand. Yeah, this is so cool. This bank on the side of this river here. This river gets raging full too, all the way to the top, but we got like animal holes and stuff out here. Like foxholes or something in the side. Nice stuff. All right, pull these arrows, head back up. I'm all sweaty. There we go. Yeah. All right, solid. Go see how we did on the deer. Tell you what, there's probably all kinds of poison ivy out here and stuff. Yeah, look at this crap climbing up this tree. I don't seem to get it. Tell you what, I was I don't know. I was pretty young. I know I was in school, so I had to be 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. And we were cleaning up brush on the side of the house. Lit a fire to clean up stuff and burned up a whole bunch of poison ivy, and me and my dad got covered head to toe in it. And it was bad because you're breathing it and everything. It messed us up pretty good. But I don't think I've really gotten poison ivy since. So if you want to gamble on surviving, dying of inhaling poison ivy fumes, give it a try. Alright. Get all these back in this quiver. Yeah, see, I push on this and you push it in and boom, it just pops apart. That's not good. Hitting my arrow on that and stuff, I'm gonna have to zip tie that down. I think I'll just throw some zip ties through there, but I don't like having to modify things that aren't supposed to have to be modified. Alright, man, looks good. I think this is it. I'm gonna pack up, get these stands and everything cleaned up for the day, and I think I'm ready for season. Look at that. Pretty good shots. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I will take it. It could be a hair lower, but I think, it looks like I'm pretty safe saying put my 20 pin on and drop it. All right, let's get these out. Alright. Yeah, cool. I'm pumped. Did I ever finish explaining how that release worked? I feel like I've started saying, so many different things, and I don't know if I ever finished saying them. I'm just kind of out here rambling, talking to myself in the woods. Probably looking like a psycho. Oh wait, nobody's around to give a fuck. Alright, who cares? Nice, I love being out where nobody is even around to give a fuck. Alright, man. Badass Hoyt setup. Got my Easton Hex arrows, custom made by Rick. Thank you. Badass. Nice helical on the fletching. My badass Spot Hunter sight all ready to rock. My knock on silverback crazy ass back tension release. Slap it on there, pull it back, let it off. Put enough tension to break it and she flies. Got The farm all looking good. I'm ready for hunting season. Alright, well, that's it. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed going on my little preseason hike through the woods. Hopefully these kind of stack up nicely and you guys can see what happens when I get out here in hunting season and hopefully close this deal. I really hope to. They've got they've got an archery three-way kind of tag. I think you save like maybe $10. It ain't that much, but you save a little bit. Get you your $1. You only get $1, and then you can get 2 does with that. I'll kind of go around, hopefully get a doe off public land, maybe a couple does, and maybe take a good buck out here. Maybe take a good buck out there and let a young buck pass out here and turn into a big buck for next year. Yeah. Sounds like the win. Man, and I'm going to be heading out to public grounds too. Oh, here, check this out if you're watching again. This was one of where I had that tree stand that I was just in last year. It's kind of a cool spot. There's this whole overgrown down tree down here, and it's kind of like it's like a little house for small animals, man. Well, a big house, it's like a story tall. All overgrown and gets to be just kind of a big canopy. I can't even see into it in the middle of out here, late season in the snow hunting. Yeah, I'm gonna head out to the public lands, and I'm gonna hunt that, and I've never done that either. So archery, first time. Public lands, first time. Hopefully that turns out good. We'll go with the do it. We'll see how that turns out. I hope that's good. And I've got a buddy, man, I'm trying to get to come with me. He talks about it all the time. He talks about, I'm gonna get out there. He's got an old bow, kind of just pulling shit together. And I'm telling you, man, I worked hard to get this setup put together. Had some help from a good friend. And I'm telling you, even if I didn't though, even if I kind of, running out of money for stuff, I think I'd still get out here and do what I had to do, Like, man, Stefan, you need a broadhead or something to throw on one of your arrows. I got you, dude. You can borrow one of mine. Go hunt those public grounds with me. Nothing else, we'll spend a day fucking hiking. Sounds good to me. Yeah. We'll get out there and see what happens. I'm a little short. I don't really have a good backpack or anything to use this year, so I think I'm just gonna tie a rope around my waist, grab my bow, maybe get one of those like pouch water bottles and throw it in my pocket, and maybe get 2 of them, one to pee in. You don't want to stink up the place, right? Let them know you're there. I'm already a stinky enough human. All right. Do that and go super lightweight. Just carry the bow like this. And hopefully things will work out. Man, dude, this bow, I don't know if it was the last deer it killed, but one of the last deers it killed, this big ass buck called Hightower. Rick was out. It was again Rick's bow. He was standing next to this tree. He ends up walking up right in front of him. This badass, beautiful buck. And he, man, I think he was like maybe 15 yards away. Maybe we'll get him on to tell the story, but staring right at him, right in front of him, zapped him right through the chest. Perfect shot, slightly off center of the sternum. Buried pretty much all the way in him. I think he said he ran maybe, 20 yards, thunk down. Exactly what you want. Yeah. So you never know. Just walk out there. Stand next to a tree. Get your camo face paint on. Go commando about it. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, right where this patch of, I'm getting back over to that like nice little 30-yard field at this other stand right here. One of these days when it was overgrown, I was walking back into it and I think this was my first season. I hadn't gotten a fucking deer yet. I mean, you find out real quick with firearm season, if you don't get a deer the first weekend, you might be skunked. And I hadn't gotten anything, and this is like, Wednesday of the last week. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go just kind of tromp around, see if I can't stir something up. And I hear, as I get back into this brush, and I run up to the edge of the field, and this big ass doe is just running across the field. Oh my gosh. And I look to my left, and I just like drop jaw. And he just dropped jaw. It's like this big, I don't know, man. He was like, if he was an 8-pointer, he was a fucking huge 8-pointer, 10-point buck, just fucking monster whitetail. He's bigger than me, you know. Fucking 15 yards to my left. We both just looked at each other. He takes off jogging. He takes off running. I go, I'm watching hunting shows that guys go, The deer stops. He fucking stops. He's like 20 yards in front of me. I'm fucking knees knocking together. About to fall over with buck fever. And I go to get the rifle on him. He comes into the scope. Boom! I fucking lob one right over his back. Just completely. Buck fever. Just no control. He takes off running. Goes about, I don't know, 30 more yards. He stops. Oh my fucking... Re-rack. I got a lever action 44 at the time. I rack it. Go to get back on target. And by the time I got him reasonably close, he took off. And that was that. Biggest buck I ever seen. You never know, man. If I had my wits about me, I could have had the biggest buck ever. First deer. I ended up taking about a 120-pound doe that year, the very last day of season. God, I think I hunted like every day. I think I pissed off my family that year. They were getting sick and throwing up, and I just wanted to get a deer, and then I ended up being sick and throwing up, and that was the deer I had to butcher in between puking. Good times. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's it. Here I am. I'm getting back to where I started, about back up to the house. Can't wait, man. It's my favorite time of the year. Halloween's coming up. I already started decorating at my house. It's not even October, but I can't wait. We're going to go out to the Mississinawa 1812 Rendezvous, October 14th. Go check that out. Hopefully get some footage there. Maybe talk to some people and maybe get a podcast out of that to share. And Christmas will be coming up. Spend a bunch of time out here getting my nature time on. Fuck yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. All right, everybody. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. That is it. I am so pumped to get out there and go hunting. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who has helped me out, helped me get to this point. Thank you for, the online people like Knock On, John Dudley, who helped provide so much education. My buddy Rick, who's helped me get my setup together and also helped with education. Thank you, Dad, for providing the property that I get to hunt. You're amazing. I appreciate everything you've done. And that's it. I'm gonna try to back off with all the thank yous and stuff after this. This is the first one, all this hunting season or hunting related stuff, so I'm getting it out of the way. Here and then I'll try to keep it a little more subject focused. And please get in touch with me. Shoot me an email by clicking the link at the bottom of, I think it's on each page at jackofallpodcast.com. Maybe my email ain't working because I never get any. Maybe I'm just not getting any emails. So put it in comments or something on YouTube if you can't get to me. I don't know. Let me know if you want to hear more about a specific subject. I'd be happy to elaborate on things or dive into something a little bit further. That's it. Thank you, Craig Harris, so much for the music. The album is Full Time. The song is Onto Something. I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you.